Hey guys, long time no packing video. I've gotten lots of requests to share how we packed for Disney World, and I'm not going to share how I picked everybody for Disney World because how I pack for me and Dawn hasn't really changed that much. I still use the same toiletry cases, I still use the same packing cubes. I just pack the same way for us. But I am going to show you how I packed for Charlotte, who is our 1-year-old daughter. She's actually 14 months now, but 13 months when we were at Disney World, so just about 1 year, and I felt like I packed really well for her. And I'm using some new luggage. I did a huge purge of our luggage collection. We had some pieces that were just broken, some things that didn't work for us anymore, and I whittled it down a lot, and I knew I wanted to purchase some nice, sturdy, hard-sided luggage because that has been one of my favorite things that I've tried in the luggage world over the past few years. And our beloved Erin Condren luggage that they don't make anymore, the wheels broke on our Italy, was it our Italy trip? I don't know, they broke a while ago, and it was just gonna be too expensive to have it repaired at like almost the cost of buying a new bag. So I decided to go ahead and part ways with those and bought new sets. This is the Omni hard-sided luggage from Samsonite, and I bought it on Amazon. It's actually a set of 3. It's the 28-inch spinner, which you see right here. It's huge. And it also comes with a 24-inch and a 20-inch, which is carry-on, like standard size. And they actually nest. All of the bags are nested within each other, which is great for storage. So if you were looking for a good quality hard-sided luggage set, you don't have a lot of storage space, it's nice that these fit well inside of each other, one inside the other, because I can have all 3 bags basically take up just the size of the biggest bag. So I packed Charlotte's stuff in the largest bag, the 28-inch bag, because she definitely has the most gear. Because she's still a baby, I still needed all of her diapering supplies, I needed all of her bath time supplies, I needed all of her sleepy time supplies, because as I talk about when I'm going through the bag with you guys, that's really important. We've traveled with Charlotte a lot now. Over her course of her first year of life, she's been many places. And the most important thing I found with traveling with her is I know that naps are kind of just out the window. They don't really happen when she's traveling, but I can guarantee pretty good nighttime sleep if I try to recreate as much of her home sleep environment as possible. So that involves bringing her sound machine, her own sheets, her own blankie, all of her sleep things, her books, like everything that I can keep consistent. And also, of course, I bring our baby monitors. So there's a lot to pack, and I had some extra stroller gear because we were going to Disney World. So the big bag was kind of necessary. This is a great bag. Empty, it weighs, I think, just about 10.5 pounds, so that's pretty good considering its size and that it is hard-sided. I love the material. It's a sort of scratch-resistant, kind of like polycarbonate. It comes in great colors too. I try to buy luggage that isn't necessarily just black because everybody and their brother has a black big bag. So when you're picking things up on the carousel, you can spot things like this right away. It's just great. I used all 3 bags for our trip. Funnily enough, Charlotte was in the big bag. She's the smallest of us. I was in the medium, the 24-inch. And then Don, my husband, who has the largest clothing out of all of us, I was in the tiny little bag, and everything fit great. So it's kind of funny how that worked, kind of in opposite of our size. But anyway, I just wanted to share a little bit about the bag before I jump into the packing video, and just tell you how great they really worked out for us. And I'm actually considering buying a second set so we can have 2 big bags for like longer haul trips, 2 of the medium bags. That's a great size, and a size I really didn't have in our luggage collection. The 24-inch spinner is great. I do love the spinning quality of this. The wheels seem really solid, but not too bulky, so they don't add a lot of weight. And they just glided so well, and they work so well for us. So yeah, let's jump into the packing. It's actually an unpacking because we're back from our trip now, but I show you exactly what I packed for Charlotte, and I talk more about why I packed each item, what I used and what I didn't, and all of that jazz. Okay guys, you'll have to excuse my voice, I'm a little bit under the weather here, but I wanted to show you the suitcase, and I can't keep it packed anymore because I need some of the stuff in it. So this is Charlotte's suitcase. It is by Samsonite. I'll have the exact model linked below. I believe it's a 28-inch suitcase. It's a hard-sided. So basically, this is very durable. It's got this really cool kind of really scratch resistant exterior. I picked this kind of Caribbean blue color. I think that's what they call it. It does expand, I believe, 1.5 inches. I didn't need to use that feature. And you can see I don't even have it all the way packed. I really like hard-sided luggage, and I wanted to replace my Erin Condren luggage. The wheels just broke after years of use. And these wheels, I don't know if you're going to be able to see them, but they're kind of, you know, your standard spinner wheels. No, you can't see them. They're there with the casters, and they just seem like a little bit more secure the way that they're fastened to the bag. So I'm just going to take you through and show you what I packed for Charlotte. She needs a big suitcase because as a baby still in diapers who doesn't eat, you know, who has kind of feeding needs, I needed to pack a lot of things. I needed a monitor, I needed a sound machine, I needed changing stuff, I needed stuff for her bath, the stuff that as she gets older we won't need to bring this much stuff for her. She definitely had the biggest bag out of all of us, but like I said, her clothes are really small, but I did also need to bring her bedtime books and things to just kind of make the hotel environment as close to home as possible to get us as much sleep as possible, because I knew she wouldn't be sleeping a lot during the day with all the excitement. I wanted to make sure she got good rest at night, and we've traveled many times with her now, and this has just been the best way for us to do that, is to make sure we pack her regular, you know, nighttime routine, which includes bath time stuff. So this hard-sided luggage is very standard. It's kind of like half, and the zipper is right in the middle of the luggage. It dissects the luggage exactly in half. And typically I found that there's one side with a mesh compartment and one side with straps. So I try to do kind of lighter things in this side, so mostly clothes and things like that I used packing cubes for. So I'll go through this side first. And a lot of this stuff was just purely functional stuff. So first of all, you're probably wondering what this huge thing is. This is a stroller saddle bag from Skip Hop. I didn't want to have this at the airport. It adds unnecessary bulk to the stroller for just regular, you know, everyday use. I don't need something like this, but at the parks it was great because I filled it up with food. And it is insulated. This is a really handy thing. So what I just packed our bag with, this bag I mean, with things that for the stroller specifically, just to kind of using it as a packing cube in itself. I brought a poncho we have that has a hole in it to use instead of a rain cover. We do have a rain cover for our stroller, but it's not very breathable. I thought this was kind of a better option, and it worked out great because we did have a rainy couple of days. A stroller fan. This was great to have on a couple of days that was warmer. It's made out of foam, so if your baby touches it, not only does it stop immediately, but it doesn't hurt their finger. So that was great. And I'll link as many of these things as I can below. This is one thing I brought that we didn't need. This was like a sun sleep shade. Didn't use this at all. She didn't really need it. And then our stroller name tag, which was great. It's a nice little thing to have, and also helps you locate your stroller really fast from the back. So I just had that attached to our stroller for the duration. Have an extra Sippy Pal. These are little like cup or toy leashes that you can clip onto anything really. And then it has this little rubberized part in the side for you to put your cup or toy in. And then I brought extra batteries and a screwdriver for the fan because the battery compartment is screwed in, but I didn't actually need to replace that. The batteries last the whole time. And you can see this actually has the mesh pockets in it as well. It's very roomy. It attaches to the side of your stroller, and I found that I could still fold the stroller on the go. It just made it a little bit more bulky, but it actually folded nicely with the stroller. So I packed that in my bags. Like I said, I didn't want to have this at the airport too because it was really just not necessary. And then of course we packed diapers. I actually got a pack and a half of our diapers. We use the Honest Company diapers, and this is how many it came back with. For me, I always err on the side of caution with diapers. I always pack way more than I need because these are not readily available at a lot of places, and you just never know when you're gonna need extra diapers. So to me, that's kind of space well spent. We actually bought swim diapers. We used the Garden Grocer delivery service while we were there. We stayed in a villa, so we had a full kitchen, which was great, and I had bought swim diapers that were delivered to my room through that service. we didn't end up swimming once. We were just so busy. So I brought those home. Obviously I didn't want to waste those, but swim diapers are a must if you're going to be swimming. This is a really large wet dry bag that I packed for laundry. I've already done the laundry and actually packed everything back up. Everything in here's clean, just so I could show you what I brought. But this was handy too. I like that it has a nice handle because I just draped it on the door. And it's wet dry, so it keeps any odors or anything at bay if you have that sort of thing. I did bring a little stash of laundry things, which I used. I always bring these things, but we actually were fortunate to have a washer dryer unit right in our room. I just have a little sample size of detergent, some Woolite, and this is like an OxyClean stain remover in decanted into a mini spray bottle. I always bring that regardless of if we have a washing dryer accessibility or not. Some more functional things, of course, wipes. I brought a whole pack, probably went through about almost half of it, so I was happy to have the whole pack. Here comes Winnie. Hold on, I gotta close the door. Winnie's very suspicious of the suitcase. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere. We do pack a sound machine whenever we go. This is the, I think it's called Dome sound machine. Love this, it's what we use. I have one just for travel, so I don't have to like ruin her setup at home. And then I have a second one of our baby monitor, and this is by Infant Optics. This is actually my Utah house one, but I bring it home when I know we're traveling. I just bring it to Utah when we come, so I don't have to like disassemble what I have set up in her room. And we go to Utah for such long stretches. It's nice to have a kind of a dedicated one, and I just have this in a hard-sided packing cube from Eagle Creek. Oh, Winnie. Okay, and then boogie wipes really come in handy, especially if you're Winnie. Sorry, you guys, Winnie's playing. Really come in handy, especially if your child is prone to a running nose. Mine gets a drippy nose when she's teething, and she's just been teething constantly lately. And then this Eagle Creek bat, I don't know if they sell these anymore. They used to have these. These are great little kind of pouch style ones. It's got all their toiletries in it. Sunscreen, lotion, shampoo, some night lights. I always travel with 2 night lights for her, just in case. I usually put one in the bathroom, one in the room. Cute baby Q-tips, hand sanitizer. I had her brush and stuff in there too, and her like nose snot sucker thing, which I took out because we're using. And then another little packing pouch just for bows, and her Minnie Mouse ears. And I actually posted a picture explaining about these on my Instagram account. These are actually on a baby-friendly headband, but they clip off, and they're just on standard kind of alligator clips, so you can use them when your kid is older, just like clipped into ponytails. I always travel with some toys for Charlotte, so I have in a packet cube just some little toys, some things her great-grandma gave her. And this little soft-sided house I bought at a fair in Utah has 3 little bears in it and like a little bed and stuff. And this is very light, but she loves it. It's a great travel toy. And I really only pull it out when we're traveling, so it kind of makes it more novel to have it again. So that was everything that was on that side of the bag. You could see I could fit a lot more in there. And the bag is pretty lightweight. I think it's about 11 pounds empty for this size bag and being hard-sided. I like hard-sided bags because I just feel like my items are a lot less prone to be like squished. So on this side, like I said, I have mostly clothing and bedding and things like that, but I'll just show you. I have another one of these wet dry bags, and this I kept in the bottom of my stroller all of the time because it has Charlotte's placemat in it. This is by Live Eco. I bought it on Amazon. She is really into throwing things right now, throwing food, throwing plates, throwing everything on the floor. This kind of like, not suctions, but it sticks to the table, and it's got a nice weight to it, and it's like the one thing she can't pick up and throw. And I know it's kind of seems like bulky to bring with you around, but to me it just makes my life so much easier that it's worth carrying around. And it fits really nicely into this wet dry bag. And then I also carried around some wipes and a bib in there. So I just always had this in my stroller when we were out. And whenever we go out to dinner, I bring this too, or to lunch at home or whatever. I bring it with me. You can see we have one a souvenir that came home with us. I let Charlotte pick out a toy. This is what she picked out. I think it's Marie from the Aristocats baby version. And actually, the one thing you're not going to see that was in this bag are her nighttime stories. I brought, I think, 4 or 5 books that are her standard nighttime story favorites. I wanted to make sure I had those. That was a really important part of our sleep routine, and I wanted to make sure I had those. She's really into books right now, so I'd also bought this set of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Miska Muska Tales for play. She loves looking through books and she loves being read through, so these were just to have for play. So these are board books, they're heavier, and it was, you know, it's something that obviously we're not going to always travel with, but right now it's a very important part of Charlotte's like play and sleep routine, so I wanted to make sure I had them. Lastly, we've got the packing cubes, and I bought this set for Charlotte on Amazon. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's by a company called Rusoji, I think. They were very inexpensive. I really wanted to test them out. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Eagle Creek packing packet cube system, but they're just a little bit more expensive, and I just wanted to try something else. These are definitely not as high quality. You can tell. I mean, they're significantly less expensive. These all came in a set. And I don't remember exactly off the top of my head how much they were, but they were pretty inexpensive compared to the Eagle Creek ones. And I've only used them once, so I can't attest to their durability, but they're working just fine. They're very lightweight. They've got the mesh breathable part, which is important to me, and the double zipper. And that's kind of all I'm looking for. So I separated Charlotte's clothes by type. We have her, I brought one outfit for her per day, and then one outfit for her per evening, and then a couple of extra things just in case, because I really wasn't sure how our days were going to go, what her napping was going to be like, and what our kind of schedule was going to be like. But I did know that those things would be important to have, so I brought enough dresses for every night. She only didn't wear one because the first night we checked in, our room wasn't ready. It was supposed to be ready at 4, and it wasn't ready till like after 5, and we had dinner at 5:30. So we basically just dumped our luggage in the room and ran to dinner. But so we didn't get dressed for that night. And when I packed for us, I actually packed perfectly. That was the only clothing we didn't wear as well, in addition to one extra t-shirt I bought for both of us, which I always pack. So I did a really good job in kind of assessing what we would need. For us, I bought a few extra things for Charlotte that we didn't end up using. Like I said, I just wasn't sure. But I brought a light sweater for her that would go with everything. I thought this was going to be more white, but it's actually cream, but it's fine. Little bloomers to wear under if it was hotter, and little pants to wear under if it was cooler. And then I had ordered these custom shoes off Etsy. How freaking adorable are those? I bought a lot of things on Etsy, you guys. I went a little Etsy crazy, but it was just so much fun. It just was part of the experience for me. Like I said, I brought a daytime outfit for her every day. Again, a lot of Etsy things. I just made sure I had a onesie or a t-shirt for her every day and matching pants. And then again, some more Etsy finds. These little shoes are just adorable. But I also brought these Zutano booties in case it was warmer. Socks, of course, and a hat. We didn't end up using that either. But the couple of extra things I brought were a couple of one-piece, like jumper kinds of things. Lightweight ones, just in case she wasn't napping in the afternoon and we wanted to change her. She was dirty or just needed to be changed into something else. Didn't end up using those. That was really only the extra clothing I brought, except for the swim stuff. Which we didn't end up using either. But of course I was always going to bring swim stuff because I just didn't know if we were going to have time to swim. Just the way our days worked out, we didn't really have time. By the time we got back from the parks, she went down for her afternoon nap. And then by the time she woke up, I had to get her in the bath and ready for dinner. So there just wasn't time to swim. But, you know, that's okay. I did bring a couple of bathing suits for her, a cover-up, some little swim booties, some sunglasses, and a swim hat. By iPlay, kind of this like back flap part, but like I said, we didn't use that in the pack. This is very small, and I was always going to bring her swim stuff, so I don't consider that a waste of space. Of course, I brought some changing supplies. I brought this kind of padded changing pad. Who's this by? Eternal Love Parenting. So it's got this nice kind of wipeable side. It's really padded. I ended up changing her on the bed. The little flannels I used to keep her tushy dry. These are by Bumpkins. And then bibs. I brought, enough bibs to have one each day. These are my favorite bibs, also by Bumpkins, the Disney version. Didn't really use bibs while we were there, which is funny because we use bibs all the time at home, but I don't know, we just didn't. So that was what was in that. And then the last 2 packing cubes, these are huge. I used one for sleep and one for bath. And I just like having the packing cubes. They keep everything so nicely organized. So I actually had 3 pairs of pajamas. I had to take one out because we don't have that many pairs of pajamas and she needed to wear some last night. But because I usually dress her in new pajamas every night because she eats breakfast in her pajamas at home and she gets dirty. But because we were eating breakfast out in her clothes, they didn't get that dirty. They didn't get like food dirty, so I could use one for 2 nights. And then of course I have her sleep sack. This is by Wolino. Sheet and her blankie. Again, like I said, trying to keep our nighttime routine as similar as possible to home. Having her own sheet. Of course, we use the pack and play they provided. Having her own sheet and her own blankie and her own, sleep sack is an important thing for us. And then lastly, the bathing stuff. I did end up bringing her towel from home. Not totally necessary. You could totally use towels, whatever. But I decided to bring it. It's not that big, and I just wanted it to be kind of like home. One of her favorite bath books, a bath toy, this little sassy pitcher, which is great to help wash her hair and rinse her off, and then our own washcloths. Again, trying to keep things the same as possible. Just makes my life easier than traveling with my little one. And that's everything I packed for her. Like I said, the only really extra things were the couple of extra outfits I brought and the swim stuff we didn't end up using, but I was always going to bring those things anyway. Plenty of room in this bag to fit more in. I think I weighed it, coming home it was about 42 pounds. And you have a 50-pound weight limit before they charge you an arm and a leg. So that worked out well. And that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. Let me know if you have any questions. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what I packed for Charlotte. Like I said, I was really happy with what we brought. I've done this a lot. I mean, we've traveled at least half a dozen times with her now, and I just felt like I figured out what's really worked for her just by knowing her as her mother, knowing what she needs, and prioritizing recreating nighttime sleep environment is just critical for us. Like I said, she does not nap well on the go, but as long as she gets her overnight sleep, she's still a pretty happy baby, and she's a great traveler. She loves being out and about in the world and discovering new things. So it's such a joy to share that with her, and I look so forward to traveling more with her over the years. As she grows out of this baby phase, when she's no longer in diapers, when she's no longer, needing very similar sleep time things that she, needs now. Over the years, I'm sure she won't need the hugest bag out of all of us anymore, especially because she's going to be smaller than us for a long time and her clothes are still little, but it just makes sense that you need a lot of stuff when you're traveling with a baby, and I think you just got to pack what makes you the most comfortable and your baby the most comfortable. And I say what makes you the most comfortable because the more comfortable and confident you are about traveling with your baby, the more comfortable and confident they will be as well. They definitely pick up on your vibes. So if you're really stressing out about traveling, or you're somewhere and you're like, oh my God, they're not sleeping away, they're gonna pick up on that, and it's just gonna make things worse. So pack what you need, pack what they need, pack what makes everybody happy. Anyway, like I said, this bag has been great. The set, I actually bought the set on Amazon for I think $280 for all 3 bags. These are really nice, high quality, brand name luggage, Samsonite. On Samsonite's website, the set retails for $470. So that's a pretty big savings. That's I don't know, what is that, 40%? I mean, that's a huge amount of savings. And I think the Amazon price is really good for this luggage. Like I said, I'm going to buy another set because I like it so much. I didn't want to commit to 2 sets before I pulled the plug and bought them both. I wanted to test one out first. But I think it will be nice to have 2 of the big bags, 2 of the medium bags, and then, of course, 2 of the carry-ons as well, if we need those down the line. And I really like this color. It's really pretty. I think it's called Caribbean Blue. I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this packing video. I'd love to know sort of your must-haves if you travel with little ones, or not, just your personal must-haves if you care to share. And what your favorite luggage is, because I don't know, I'm into that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you are too. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and have happy and safe travels, you guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.